Breaking news from the Middle East. Iranian state TV is reporting that Iran has attacked a U.S. airbase in Qatar. Al Udeid Air Base is the largest U.S. airbase in the Middle East, with 10,000 troops estimated to be stationed there. The base is also host to U.S. Central Command's regional headquarters and command facilities for special forces. The report comes after Qatari authorities temporarily suspended air traffic in the country's airspace. Let's go right to our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, in Tel Aviv. Ian, what do we know so far?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, in terms of facts, we know very little, but there are multiple reports out there. The facts are that Qatar closed its airspace. The facts are also that the U.S. Embassy advised U.S. citizens to stay indoors. There was also a warning to British citizens there as well. The UAE also reportedly closing its airspace amid the increased reports of a potential threat against the Al Udeid airbase. And as you say, this is the largest airbase for the Middle East in the region. It's important not just to house aircraft, but it's important because this is a command and control facility. It's where missions are controlled. I've been to Al Udeid in the past before and seen this huge control room where drones, aircraft are monitored and controlled. And it's possible that the attacks against Iran were orchestrated from here. We know that President Trump and the National Security Council are due to meet. They are also acutely aware of these threats. Our colleague Kira Phillips quoting a defense official saying that they don't behave like this unless the threat itself is credible. We had multiple threats, multiple warnings from Iran that they would indeed retaliate to the U.S. strikes on 3 nuclear facilities. The latest one came from the Iranian president probably only about 40 or 45 minutes ago. He's not a key decision maker. The Ayatollah is in normal circumstances, but these are abnormal circumstances. But again, warning that there would be retaliation. Remember, President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth have made it very clear that if there is any kind of retaliation from Iran, that would lead to an even greater response from the United States. But there is precedent here. Remember the former head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Soleimani. He was assassinated back in 2020 under the first President Trump's first term in office. I was in northern Iraq when Iran responded. They fired at U.S. bases near where we were in Erbil in the north of the country. They fired at U.S. bases elsewhere in the country and on the border near Syria as well. So they have form, if you like. Now, that was a calibrated response. It was one for Iran to say, look, we did respond, but no further. It allowed for a de-escalation. I'm not sure we're in the same territory right now, especially given the very specific threats that President Trump has made against any of what would happen in the eventuality of any retaliation. But the facts are, there was this threat, there was airspace was closed, and the Israelis also monitoring the situation. There are reports, we have a colleague whose sister lives in Doha, reports of hearing explosions. But we're in this very foggy situation at the moment, and we just need to take a breath and look at what possibly could have happened and wait until we get facts issued from the Pentagon and from the White House and potentially from Qatari officials. Sorry, just one other thing worth adding, of course. You know, these bases have sophisticated air defense of their own, but Qatar also has sophisticated air defense. It has the U.S. Patriot and THAAD missile systems, some of which are being used here in Israel as Iran attacks. So it's possible when people say they've heard explosions that these are intercepts. So at the moment, I think we just need to take our time, deep breath time, and wait and see exactly what's happened.